it's time to get back working on some stuff. So as you can tell, we are outside, and today we are going to be starting on something a little different. A few weeks ago, start of December, my brother was going down the freeway and went off and hit 2 trees. So yeah, and if you look down the side of it, it is really crunched in, and the bumper. So we are going to try pulling this with the car because that got crunched right in here. You can see. So I gotta pull this back out so it's not wedged into the body there. One problem. But you give this thing a yank, and stuff is gonna come yeeting out of this door. That's what I'm working on. Try it. She's open. That's hard. I don't know what the temp is outside, but I am not enjoying it. It is probably like, it might actually be 0 degrees Fahrenheit wind chill. It is cold. How cold do you think this wind chill is?
The wind chill? About 0.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And it's about 20 degrees out.
Well, this
feels like 6 degrees.
6.
Stands up. Alright, let's get in.
Okay. Alright, so now I can really see how far bent in this thing really is. It is pretty bad. We got quite a bit done. We pulled off the bumper, all of this, to check and see what was all damaged here. This looks like his old damage from a different time, which is kind of surprising. But as you can see how this is all flat here, this is all pushed in here, all this is bent here. At this point, I was so stressed out with this build and trying to get it finished up for my brother as it was his main vehicle that I just decided I was not going to post this or video it, and so I quit videoing. I just fixed the cab, did the body work, painted it. Well, we're back working on it again, and so last time I was here, I believe it was a couple days ago, I got the dashboard set in place, but it is not screwed in. Let's screw this thing on, make sure it's right where we want it, and then we're going to work on putting in the steering assembly and everything else, just putting together this whole dashboard, and hopefully we can move on to some other stuff. So as you can see, trying to take off the fender, the top part of, this is the new one right here, the top part on the fender broke off, so then trying to take off the fender, it snapped off the rest of the antenna. So we're gonna have to replace this thing, and yeah, I had the dash most of the way assembled, and I realized this antenna had to go on, and I couldn't find the connector for it, so I took out the stereo and the cluster and the trim around the cluster and the steering column and the glove box and all that fun stuff and the entire dash, just to realize that it goes all the way to the stereo and plugs right into the back of the stereo. And I could have just rerouted it. So now we have the dash out, and we might as well just run the new antenna now. So that's what we're going to do. So let's replace this thing, run our new antenna over to where the stereo is going to sit, and then move on to putting the dash all back together again. It's going to be great. garage. It's time to get back working on this thing for a little bit. I don't have a ton of time today either. That's like the story of my life. But we gotta use what time we got. So I'm not sure quite what I'm gonna work on. I think I might just continue working on putting back the engine bay. But 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, I was working at my job when all of a sudden I realized I did not put in this third brake light. So yeah, pretty much like half of the interior is coming back out again. Just for this light. So don't do the same mistake I did. But lesson learned. Let's move on. So we don't got much of any time to waste, because I don't have much time here today anyway. So I guess let's just continue with this engine bay. So we need to finish putting all this wiring harness back in. This harness is pretty much ran. This thing is going to need to go down there. We'll deal with that. And I believe all the rest of this wiring, well, this still has to be ran. But other than that, wiring is pretty much done. We just gotta throw a couple things back together in here. And then probably move on to this fender. And then it'll pretty much be working on this corner here with this damage. And making sure that this bracket here is pulled out straight. That where this other bracket mounts right here for the fender. That's all good. And making sure everything else is straight. So that way we can mount on the front grille here. And the fender and all that line up properly. So I guess let's just get right to working on it and see how it goes. Well, battery is in. I believe everything is connected. And I guess it's time to see if it starts. So, this is scary, but I guess let's do it. Well, I guess it's time to pull the truck out and tarp it. Well, truck is out of here, so I guess now it's time to clean this up some and start moving some stuff around, get the hood out and the doors, fenders, fix the one fender from the driver's side. We gotta fix some damage on that. And then, yeah, be time to get everything ready for paint and paint some stuff.